In 5 of the 6 states where former President Donald Trump spent more than $16 million supporting Republican candidates during the midterm cycle, he also hosted at least one of his signature mega rallies in the final 2 months of campaigning. The only one he skipped, Georgia. Trump's allies described the decision as one aimed mostly at holding their political fire in anticipation of a December 6 runoff election to decide the state's Senate race between Senator Raphael Warnock, the Democratic incumbent, and his Republican challenger, Herschel Walker, a former college football star. Others close to the Walker team suggested that having Trump come to the state was never seriously discussed, although the reasons were not immediately made clear. Either way, the question of how best to deploy Trump has become more pressing and complicated in the aftermath of the midterms, as some Republicans have openly assigned blame for the party's lackluster results to the former president. On Thursday, discussions over Trump's role were underway between Republicans at Walker's campaign headquarters in Georgia, the National Republican Senatorial Committee in Washington, and Trump advisors at his Mar-a-Lago home in Palm Beach, Florida. In addition to a Trump rally, another option floated was to enlist Trump as an Uber financier, anchoring him in his South Florida mansion for a fundraiser to help bring in some of the tens of millions that could be needed to support Walker in the runoff, according to a person briefed on the matter who insisted on anonymity to discuss private conversations about strategy. Trump has sought to assure people that his presence in Georgia would not hurt Walker. Others are less, depending on results in Arizona and Nevada, where the vote count remains ongoing. The runoff in Georgia for the second consecutive election cycle could determine which party controls the Senate for the next 2 years. If recent history repeats itself, Trump's role will become a key factor for deep-pocketed Republican donors, many of whom still point to the president's lies about his 2020 election loss as a central reason the party lost 2 Senate runoffs last year and handed the majority to Democrats. More than $500 million was spent on political advertising in Georgia during the 2 months between Election Day in 2020 and the runoffs on January 5, 2021, according to AdImpact, an ad-tracking firm. Trump's super PAC, MAGA Inc., spent $16.4 million supporting political campaigns for midterm candidates, including $3.6 million in Georgia to back Walker, according to AdImpact. During the 2020 runoff, Trump delivered false claims about rigged voting in 2 rallies that is believed to have complicated Republican turnout efforts. A study from Georgia Public Broadcasting showed a precipitous drop-off in turnout in the runoff election in precincts that had supported Trump. "I don't do rallies for other people," Trump said during a rally in Dalton, Georgia, on January 4, 2021, the eve of the runoff election. "I do them." Copyright 2022 The New York Times Company.